That's an
I thought it
excellent.
was a good movie. I
Who
saw the
Framed Roger?
comedian who did the voice of Roger Rabbit in Los Angeles when I was there in 2000.
Oh yeah,
Very
um,
funny guy.
yeah. And the actor, who the real actor, in Roger Rabbit, the detective or whatever, the actor, who is that guy? Um,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Gosh, I can't remember now either.
Um,
Ages ago, too long ago, mate. Who framed Roger Rabbit? That was 1988. Wow.
yep. Um, Bob Hoskins, that's the guy's name. Bob Hoskins. Christopher Lloyd was in it, of course,
Yeah,
but
Bob
Bob
Hoskins,
Hoskins.
Christopher Lloyd,
Yeah,
Charles Fleischer, Stubby K, Joanna Cassidy. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, 90s movie was the first and only animated film, a Special Achievement Academy Award. Or yes, it had to be. It had to be Toy Story, right? Yeah. An animation there, I mean, yeah. Who Framed Interesting, but that was in the 80s, wasn't it? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah. Into the 80s.
Yeah, and we're talking 90s now. We're into the 90s, so yeah. Anyway,
Charles
okay.
Fleischer, that's the guy who did the voice of Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
Very funny guy.
Yeah, cool. What actor starred in 2 of the top 10 highest grossing films of the 90s, and what were the films? And one actor starred in 2 of the top 10 highest grossing films in the 90s.
Wow. 90s. Good question, man. Tom Cruise was probably one of them, no?
Well, there's only one
Or
guy,
maybe it was
one actor. Tom Hanks.
Harrison Ford, wasn't it? Maybe Tom
Harrison
Hanks.
Ford. Okay, so Tom Hanks, Harrison Ford, Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I don't know.
You have
Will
the answers
Smith.
right, Dan?
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Men in Black
Okay.
and Independence Day. Oh yeah. Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Men in Black. That was a great movie. Independence Day was a great movie also, actually. Yeah. Okay. Okay, what are the names of the 2 mice from the Rescuers Down Under? I remember one. I don't remember. I remember the female, but I don't remember the male mouse's name. I think I remember the female. The Rescuers.
You
Down
would
Under.
remember the female. I think you remember all females.
Frickin' Frack. I don't think it was Frickin' Frack. No. Wasn't the female Bianca or something like that? Bianca and Bernard. Yeah, I thought it was a B, but I wasn't sure. Bob didn't sound right, and I couldn't come up with Bernard. Bianca and Bernard. There we go. Okay. I don't think I ever saw the Rescuers Down Under either, but for some reason that character stuck in my mind. Yeah. Okay. What movie did this quote come from, and which character or actor said it? Keep the change, you filthy animal. This is, I wonder what they're going to put for the answer here, because actually, the character took it from another movie, right? The character in the famous movie took it from an old movie, right? Home Alone, Kevin McAllister. Right, but he was actually watching an old gangster movie, right? I wonder what they're going to put for the answer here. Home Alone, Johnny. Ralph Foodie. Yeah, because Kevin McAllister doesn't actually voice those. He just mouths it, right? The old movie wasn't a real movie. It was filmed for the movie. Okay. I didn't know that. I thought they actually got a clip from an old movie. I didn't know. Okay. So I learned something there. But yeah, but what I did know is that it wasn't Kevin McAllister that actually said those words. It was the actor in the film on television or on the videotape that actually said it. So that was Ralph Foodie, Johnny. Yeah, Johnny. Okay, there we go. All right. What movie did this quote come from, and which character or actor said it? What's in the box? Oh, this one. This is a movie. Yeah, Seven, Brad Pitt. Right. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Seven and Detective David Mills, Brad Pitt. Exactly. Yeah. That was a movie I had a hard time watching. Yeah, I had a hard time watching that. What's in the box? What's in the box? What movie?
Yeah, the head, right?
Yeah, yeah, his wife's head there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Kevin Spacey was excellent, excellent in that movie. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. What movie did this quote come from, and which character or actor said it? Molly, you in danger, girl. Okay, everybody knows this one. Everybody. Get your ugly yellow no good keister off my power before I pump your guts full of lead. Okay. Ghost Oda Mae. There we go. Ghost Whoopi Goldberg. There we go. Oda Mae Brown, right? Whoopi Goldberg. There we go. What movie was Robin Williams' first animated film? What movie was Robin Williams' first animated film? Aladdin? Was that his first? I think it was. Oh no, Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. Oh, did anybody know that? I did not. I did not know that. In fact, I don't think I've seen that. The Last Rainforest? All right. What star was going to play Two-Face in a canceled third Tim Burton Batman film? What star was going to play Two-Face in a canceled third Tim Burton Batman film? What do you think there, Jeff? No answer. All right. Billy D. Williams.
Thinking.
Billy D. Williams? Two-Face? That doesn't seem right. But it is. Ah, slap my face. Billy D. Williams. There you go. Far out. Okay. What two actors were the voices of Simba in the original animated Lion King? Simba. Billy D. Yeah, okay. So what two actors were the voices of Simba in the original animated Lion King? Yeah, one, I guess, when he was young, and another actor when he was mature. He was upset when Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face in the Joel Schumacher Batman Forever. Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent in the first one. Okay. All right. So two actors were the voices of Simba in the original animated Lion King. Anybody know? I don't know.
Matthew Broderick, wasn't it? Matthew Broderick was one, or was he the other character?
Harvey Dent became Two-Face. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, I think that's right for the young one. And Matt Broderick. Yep, there we go. Yeah, put it together. You guys got it. Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Matthew Broderick. There we go. Okay, very, very good job. What was the first animated feature film nominated for a Best Picture Oscar? The first animated feature film to be nominated
That was
for
Beauty and the Beast, wasn't it? I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast.
Was that in the 90s? I guess so.
Was it? I think it was earlier than that.
Beauty and the Beast. The first animated feature film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. Toy Story. That's what I was going to say. Toy Story seems to be Beauty and the Beast. So it's either Beauty and the Beast, Toy Story, and Disney's Beauty and the Beast. There you go. All right. So I was wrong. You were right. It is Beauty and the Beast. What movie did this quote come from and which character or actor said it? I'm the king of the world. Lion King. Nope, not Lion King. Beauty and the Beast.
That's Lion King, right? Man, there must be some kind of delay on my system because that answer came up before I even saw it, before I even heard your question. Can you hear me okay?
What's that?
See, I'm on some kind of, my system is weird over here.
Yeah. It must be tied in with your mental workings there, so it's I'm king of the world. The answer: Titanic, Leo D, Jack Dawson, Leo D, Leo DiCaprio in Titanic. Right on. What were the 3 songs the band Aerosmith sang for the 1998 movie Armageddon? 3 songs. The band, all right, music master Jeff. 3 songs the band Aerosmith sang for the 1998 movie Armageddon. 3 bad songs? No. Jeff, are you there? Are you breathing?
Yeah, hang on a sec. I'm having some problems over here. Just a minute.
Don't want to miss a thing. All right, there's one.
Don't want to miss a thing. Yeah, hang on.
That terrible ballad. All right, so any more? I don't know. Don't want to miss a thing. What kind of love are you on? And Sweet Emotion. Oh yeah, Sweet Emotion. Okay, yeah, crazy. Yeah. I don't want to miss a thing. What kind of love are you on? Yeah, that's one I would have never guessed. Sweet Emotion. I think I might have been able to come up with that given enough time, but yeah. What year was Forrest Gump released? Forrest Gump.
That was 1996.
1996.
Was it?
Is he right? You're wrong. 1994.
Oh.
50 lashes. 50 lashes with a wet noodle.
Dude.
1994 is the answer. Yes. 1994, 1995. That was 1994. 50 lashes with a wet noodle. All right. What year was the song My Heart Will Go On from Titanic released? I saw it in 94 with Girlfriend. Okay.
Woo.
My Heart Will Go On from Titanic released in 1998.
97.
97. 97, 98, 98, 98, 97. 97 is the answer.
Yeah.
Jeff gets one. You're up to negative 100.
No, I got 2. I got Beauty and the Beast. Weren't you listening?
Yeah, but you got minus 102
Jeez.
for that bad answer there. So, all right. So, what movie did this quote come from and which character actor said it? I see dead people. I see dead people.
That was oh man. Can't remember the name now. Sixth Sense, yes, thank you. That's it.
Haley Joel Osment. Yeah, what was the kid's name though? I get character or actor. All right, you're right. Character or actor. Yeah, so Cole, right? Sear. Oh yeah, I forgot his last name. All I could remember was Cole. They always called him Cole. It was Sear. Okay. Sixth Sense. Okay. Which 1997 film stars Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, and John Malkovich? Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, and John Malkovich. Con Air.
Yeah, that may be it, actually.
Yeah, that has to be it, right? Yeah, Con Air.
Yeah.
I forgot that John Cusack was in
I
that.
totally forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Malkovich, I remember. Nicolas Cage, of course. But yeah, Cusack. All right, cool. All right. Which 90s animated film was Disney's first ever DVD? Put the money down. Which 90s animated film was Disney's first ever DVD?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas? You think so? The Little Mermaid?
I don't know.
Yeah, Little Mermaid was 80s, wasn't it? I don't know. Aladdin?
Oh, it could be Aladdin, too. One of those.
Mulan. There you go. Mulan. You got, yeah, I mean, yeah. DVD. Not, yeah, DVDs. Yeah, DVDs. Mulan. Okay.
Moulin Rouge?
Mulan, about the Korean woman who fought, wanted to fight like a man. Mulan.
Oh, yeah. Really? That was the first one?
Yeah, because DVDs were not that early. I mean, it was late in the 90s before DVDs were a big thing, right? So, which actor was the voice of Moses in The Prince of Egypt? The voice of Moses in Prince of Egypt. I don't know. I didn't watch The Prince of Egypt. Chinese. Charlton Heston. Really?
Charlton Heston.
Nope. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer.
Okay.
Whatever happened to Val Kilmer? I don't know.
I don't know.
Off to bed. All right. Thanks for playing, Brian.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Brian.
it. Come back again.
Sorry I was late. You guys probably have 5,000 questions under your belt now.
Yeah. This is like the third category. All right. Which artist sang the hit Unchained Melody from the film Ghost?
Oh, yeah, I should know this. God, I don't know. I should know this.
Kilmer has throat cancer. Was that what happened to him? I knew he really put on a lot of weight after he stopped making, after Batman. It wasn't too many years before, after Batman that saw pictures of him. He was really, really putting on a lot of weight. Of course, I don't have any room to talk, But.
Yeah. I haven't seen you. Oh, yeah, I guess I saw you over the weekend, Dan. Yeah, but you're not that bad.
I'm bigger than I have been. Bigger than I've ever been. Which is not good. All right. So the answer is the Righteous Brothers. You knew that? The Righteous Brothers? Yep.
Yeah, they did the original version too, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's what was used in the movie. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. What movie did this quote come from and which character or actor said it? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand
I
the
understand the
words
words coming out of your mouth now?
So who said that in which movie?
Who said that?
Hey, Sheila. Is that an I or an O? Sheila. What movie did that come from? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? No takers?
That came from the Daniel Minor files. I don't know.
Rush Hour and Detective James Carter, Chris Tucker. There it is, Chris Tucker, Black-Eyed Dog. Yes. Yeah.
Rush Hour, right.
Oh, yeah, Krista. Yeah. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Yes. Okay. There we go. I remember that now. Okay. Yeah. Once I got the connection, but I couldn't put the connection together. Okay. What year was The Lion King released?
Lion King, yeah. 98.
No. Really? I thought it was earlier than that.
Maybe 90.
94. Yep. Black-Eyed Dog had it.
Those years blend together.
1994. Okay. Which artist sang the song "Oh Pretty Woman" from the film Pretty Woman? I know this. Which artist sang the song "Oh Pretty Woman" from the film Pretty Woman? Roy Orbison. There we go. My boy, Roy. Yes. Roy Orbison joined a group with George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Bob Dylan. What was the name of that group? Roy Orbison was in a group with George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Bob Dylan. Tom Petty. Okay, you're reading ahead. Who is Kaiser Sose in the film The Usual Suspects? Right. Traveling Wilburys. There you go. Traveling Wilburys. Yeah, one of my all-time favorite groups. Never going to happen again. I mean, it just wouldn't be the Wilburys without George, so what can you do? Kaiser Sose is Kevin. Yeah. Roger Verbal Kent. Yeah, Roger Kent. Verbal Kent. All righty. Oh, we lost Jeff. Jeff, are you there? Are you coming back? Okay, well, I think we'll save the next section for another day. Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that for another time. I've been on for almost 2 hours now, so we'll save that for a next time. So what is going on? Well, at least I was planning on sticking around for a little. Yeah. Okay, going to bed. All right. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, we'll do some more of this. Look for more movie trivia questions in a future broadcast. We'll keep this going. Yeah, we will. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. All righty. So it's just me, myself, and I here because my co-host has bailed on me. Where are you, you bailouter? You bailer. How dare you bail on me? You bailed. Bailing wire. Yep. All right. Anything going on out there in the world? Jeffersonian. Hello? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Jefferson. JTS. Jefferson T. Smitherington, as he is known by those who know him. All right, well. Hello. Well, thanks for the books. I've got. Your books, this is the first year?
Yeah, the contents are the same. Yeah. All I had was right, you know what? That worked. Emergency use only.
got a very important phone call I have to take. Daniel.
We're broadcasting.
Dan is a very good artist. Look at that. Look what he can do.
Yeah, I'm an amazing artist.
I didn't know you could do that, Dan. You are amazing. I mean, look at that. Look at those.
I am amazing.
And you can play music too. Who's that guy in the background? Jeez.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Some
How about
Ayashiatsu
you,
there.
What is it?
Maybe I should put my mask on like this.
There you go. Never looked better.
I'm
See?
doubly vaxxed, dude.
See?
You guys gonna start a broadcast?
Hey there,
I've
Dr.
been
Rupster. How
broadcasting
are you,
for the last
sir?
2 hours.
Did Jeff just join?
He
Oh,
joined. He joined during the tail end of my movie trivia thing. You know.
Okay.
Today was absolutely a crazy day. You listen to this. I went to my first class, right? It was face-to-face class, supposed to be.
Wow, they started
So I get there
Duckland.
and yeah, right, KGU, the infamous initials there. Yeah, and once, and I mailed everybody, and one student got back to me this morning, and she goes, well, I heard from Kilmuka that we should be doing remote classes, right? But they sent a mail out that didn't say much about that. They were like, well, it's really up to you, but just be safe and, the usual thing, right?
Right.
But it didn't say specifically, well, you should do remote classes. So I said, well,
Speaking
okay,
of
I'll
that,
do
Jeff, how about your
face-to-face.
fine institution? Are we allowed to do face-to-face at your place?
No, they want remote. Yeah. They
Really?
want
Because
remote
I was planning on doing
for the
face-to-face.
first initial. I know a lot of people were, right? And then Robert, actually, when I was at Gakuen-dai dealing with that, Robert emailed our Kilmuka, and they said that they would rather have people do remote for now here.
Huh.
Yeah. So, which, I think that what they're doing is leaving it up to the teachers, but I don't know if that's good. There's not a lot of guidance going around, but, I think if you have to do it face-to-face, they're okay with it, but just be careful.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I went to Gakuen to KGU. I don't know if I should say the word while we're live, but
Why not?
KGU, and the student said that, right? Okay. And then I said, wow, okay. I checked with the staff in building 14, the reception desk there. I said, well, he said, actually, because today was the first day. It's a Monday schedule today. It's the first day.
Right.
And I went to get the hand spray, and he said, well, you're not scheduled to be here today, Sensei. And I said, well, it's a Monday schedule. And he said, yeah, but they were recommending people do remote classes today. And I said, really? And I just gotten that mail from a student. And I said, oh my God. Right. And I said, well, I thought it was okay to do face-to-face classes. And he goes, well, I'll check with you. So just, go to the classroom, And there were some students there, but only half. Of a 13-person class, 6 people came. And then I said, oh my gosh, okay, well, he said, and he checked with Kilmuka, came back and said, yeah, they'd rather, if possible, do remote classes for now, at least the first couple. He goes, today you can do first and second period face-to-face, but next week go to remote, he said, yeah.
That's KGU.
That's KGU, right?
So Tokai's going to be the only one with
like,
face-to-face classes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm freaking going to his school face-to-face. Yeah, I told my.
And I'm like, huh? Okay, well, whatever. So I did the face-to-face class. I did a Manaba thing too. Just for students who couldn't make it. I have a line group with the students, and we're communicating via line. And I said, well, if you can't come to class, don't worry about it. I'll put things on Manaba. Please do this, that, and the other. And so then actually, I felt that they were quite adamant about it. So then I made second period remote. Actually, I aligned the students. I said, well, we should do remote then. So let's go on remote. And I just basically did a Manaba lesson today. And I came to my office here. We checked in via line. We did a little bit of a Zoom meeting. but basically Manaba.
Okay.
Yeah, today.
All right. I got a question. I got a question about your
strange.
school again. Are teachers allowed to come on campus and, for example, I'm theoretically scheduled for a computer room. Can I do my remote class from the computer room that I'm scheduled for?
Okay, now in that case, I think that's totally feasible. Yes, from what I gather, you can do that.
Okay.
Right.
Because last year I remember they were asking me if I was going to be using my computer room because there were other teachers that wanted to use it for their remote classes or something. Okay, I'll see you.
See you, Jeff.
Right. See you, Mike.
Okay.
As far as I gather, that's feasible to do, but I guess they don't want to have you in the classroom. And I was planning to do face-to-face classes in my classes here, starting next week.
Right.
But I'm going to switch now. But that was just totally weird about KGU, right? Because it's like suddenly I hear that. And last week we get this reminder mail. Okay, well, don't forget, to the 22nd is a Monday schedule, so please, and if you're going to do classes face to face, just be careful, blah blah blah. And they didn't say anything strongly about we recommend remote classes. Didn't say that. So
it seems so strange to me because the numbers.
Weird.
If you look at the number of new infections, it's dropping like a rock. It's really coming down quickly. The number of hospital beds that are filled is also reducing. So the number of available hospital beds, is increasing.
Wow.
And it really feels like, looking at the numbers, that we're well on our way to being out from under this, and yet there seems to be an abundance of caution on the part of those two schools, your school and the other school you mentioned, to maintain remote classes. I'm kind of surprised.
No, I was. That's why I decided to do face-to-face classes today. Right? And from now on, right? That's why I totally decided that, because you're right, and then I get this weird stuff from like the students, and the reception desk dude, right? And Robert contacting Kilmuka. So it's kind of like, what is going on? That's just seems kind of weird, right? So, I decided just to do next week Zoom already at KGU, just to avoid any problem, right? But then I just saw a line message from Joe, who has I'm on his line group with his class, and he said, "Well, students, hey, let's plan to turn in this work, and if you can't come to the classroom, just let me know," he said. So I guess he's planning to have it in class in person next week.
All right.
So I'm not sure. So I was just kind of freaked out by that too, Doshio-kana, I was thinking.
I guess I'm not too surprised, this week, I guess, the whatever it is, the emergency level is still technically at level 4 until like the 24th or something like that, and then it's supposed to go down to 3 or something, or maybe it's till the end of the month. So it doesn't
like that.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me too much, that they maintain remote, until the end of the month. But yeah, the thing that bothers me is I feel that if it was the other way around, if I could have the first 2 weeks in the classroom to get things set up with these students and then have to go online, it would be much better, But to start out online, there's just so many things that are so much harder to get started, remotely than if you're actually in the classroom with them. It's a bad.
Oh, I hear you. Totally. Yeah, I'm totally with that too. That's really kind of why I wanted to have everybody together today, and at least today in the classroom, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just strange, right? I think I don't know, maybe information doesn't get passed 100%, or they're leaving it up to the teacher more. I guess that's what they're doing. But
So
when you have students, and I had a couple students say, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't make it to class today," or "I'm not ready to go to face-to-face classes." A couple students said, right? So I was like, "Ooh, okay." Well, when it comes to that, I think it's better, not to try to do it face-to-face.
Yeah.
I guess, right? It's just
I've got at least one student that's back in Korea.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about her. Is it?
Yeah. So
right. So
got no choice. That one has to be remote.
so tell her to get her butt over here, man.
Yeah. Get your ass over here. Yeah.
Your ass over here.
All right. So your classes begin when next Friday?
Next Friday. Yeah.
All right. So
That's
my
right.
classes there don't actually start until the Wednesday after that. So that'd be what, like the 6th?
Yeah.
Yeah. So but your understanding is that even then, even into October, the school is expecting to have remote classes?
I think just for now, that's the impression I got to start
this is
off.
What's confusing to me. They're talking about now, but the number of infections is going down. So even so we're talking about basically 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today is like a big difference. I mean, in 2 weeks, the number of infections in Kumamoto Prefecture has gone from like 80 per week down to 20 per week or something like that. So if it drops another 2/3, we'll have just like a couple of infections during the week by the time that my class actually starts there. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why they're being kind of unclear, because they don't even know what the situation is going to be when classes actually open up there.
I think that may be it, Dan. Yeah, they don't want to be committed to one decision or telling people exactly one thing what to do. That's my guess. They don't want to be committed to it.
I love teaching at your school, Jeff. I love the students. They're some of the most enjoyable kids I've ever taught. You've got great facilities there, wonderful classrooms and the staff and on there. But gee whiz, I mean, why can't they make decisions? I mean, it's like up to the last minute. It's like I'm going into the classroom tomorrow, I think, but I may get a mail today that tells me no, you're doing it remote or something. I mean, it's like wait until the last minute and then a few more and then they'll tell you what to do. I mean, it's decision making is not their strong point at your school, I'll tell you.
No, I think it's that bureaucratic thing that kind of in the chain, right? In the cog in the wheel type thing. You can't really make a decision by yourself unless you check with someone, and no one wants to take the blame on any kind of decision. So if they leave it up to the teachers, then I guess that takes them out of the loop, the employees, right?
Right.
Because the teacher decided so, and then I guess they'll be okay with it, which they seem to be fine with what I decided to do today. Like suddenly go to second period remote, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, would have been hard had I not had line. And I was like, oh, what should I do second period then? Gosh, these, half those students too were like, well, I don't know if I really want to come to class. And I'm like, okay, let's just call it, right? Boom. And I started mailing people online on the line group, like during first period. And I said, well, I think we should just, go remote for second period. Sorry about the confusion.
Yeah.
I blamed it on myself, with the students. I said, it's my bad. Sorry. But it is for safety purposes, so let's just do on Manaba today. And
do you use line a lot with your students?
With KGU, I do all the time. That's basically it for line. Yeah, just KGU.
I hate line. I do.
Somebody said that. I was thinking line is. Yeah, I hate it too a lot.
I refuse to use it, for anything. I mean, for any large groups and so on. And Because it's automatically, it's always going to be on my phone. And, so like dealing with, like if I'm dealing with Joe or you or something like that, and then to send a line message, that's fine. But to deal with large numbers of students, I just hate it, because when I'm dealing with a lot of them, I want to be able to sit down at a keyboard, and that means switching it over to one of my computers. And so depending on whether I'm at my office or in the classroom or at home, which computer I'm using is going to be different. And so I have to re-log in, do that QR code, scan to log in on a different device. And that's just such a pain in the ass. I mean, what is the purpose of that? I mean, it's not saying that you can't use more than two. You just can't have more than two logged in at the same time or registered at the same. What is that? That doesn't make any sense at all to me.
I know, man. I know. I hear you. No, I totally hear you. It's very cumbersome. Like I said, I don't like that aspect either, right?
Yeah. So I don't give my students my line ID. I don't even talk about line with my students. It's like no. We've got Teams, email will work. But line, no. This is a non-starter for me. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, and like I said, I only do KGU with line. And interestingly, the Kyomuka set up line groups for all the Ichi Nensei and Ni Nensei students at KGU, right? So I had access to all the students, basically, right? So, I set my line group up by going in that, like picking the students out physically myself, right? But I missed a couple.
Oops.
I missed a couple inadvertently. You're going to miss a couple. Maybe some student they don't respond to the initial line group request.
Right.
So then they're out in the cold, right? And I told all the students, please, if you know someone who's not in this line group, please invite them. Please get them to go on. I had a student come to me halfway through the last semester, and said, "Well, I didn't know there was a line group."
Yeah.
I'm not on there. Well, I told other students, and I'm sure I invited you if you were on the initial line message from the office. So it's just man, it's so fortunately we have Teams for PUK, so I'm on Teams.
Yep.
For that, and most all students basically see that, which is good. It might take them a little time, but they do see that. So
what I've been doing,
I'm going to start to get ready, for next
for
week.
me, I basically, I've been planning to go in the classroom. I mean, at Tokai here, we've more or less been given the green light to go ahead and go back in the classroom. Keep the windows open, keep the students, distancing, separated, within the classroom, and of course, use alcohol to spray the desks and wipe them down and so on after class and all that stuff, But we basically got the okay to go back in the classroom. So I plan to go back in the classroom with Tokai, and I've set up things on Teams as kind of a backup, but like the digital versions of the textbooks, the audio files, prints and so on, things like that I know that I'm going to be handing out or using at the beginning here. I put those all in the files tab, under the files tab, under the class materials in the Teams, right? So it's all available. If we end up going remote, I'm already set up,
That's great, man. Yeah, that's what everybody should do.
Yeah.
That
was my plan for Kendai also. That was my plan for Kendai, to be in the classroom, and then if we have to go off, go remote, to do that. But now I guess I don't know what to do. Maybe I'm going to have to start out. I really don't want to. I really want to have the first couple of classes in the classroom. So unless Kendai tells me that I can't, I think I'm probably going to ask. But that's another thing.
Dan, before you go on, Robert got in touch with them himself, right? And that's what they kind of told him, and he passed the word to me. And I'm going to check myself too, early next week. And you might want to do that yourself, just maybe, I don't know who he spoke to or what have you, but he said that's what they told him. So
Yeah, I figure by the 29th or the 30th, they'll already know, they'll have the plans for, the first week of October already.
yeah.
So I figure, yeah, a week from now or 8 days from now, it should be in pretty good shape to be able to tell what's going to happen, in October. So, yeah, so I just kind of been playing it by ear until then. But like I said, setting up everything so that I can do it online, but hoping, desperately that I won't have to do it online.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather not do it online, on any platform, because just the face to face is just so much better, right?
Yeah. Well, for me,
Uh,
actually, at your school, I've got only reading and writing classes or research writing. So they're all writing. So actually, after I get past about class number 3, I'm actually okay
right.
with being online. It's just getting them started that I desperately want to be in the classroom with them to be able to look over their shoulder, be able to show them things and answer their questions and all this, like in real time, face to face. After I
Yeah,
get them
yeah, yeah.
started, I'm okay.
Cool. I hear you, man. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's actually cool that you have that situation. Yeah. I mean, I have a class that I'm basically primarily doing reading with,
Mm-hmm.
Basic English 4, which is Nina and Say,
Mm-hmm.
fall semester. So I may, yeah, and that's basically why I made it reading. They want to increase reading skills here, for all students, right? Basically for TOEIC purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty much, that's why I kind of did that, because it works well online too. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
we'll see what happens, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Your school, I mean, your school definitely goes for the overkill. It seems like. I mean, so you've got the good account with Microsoft and Teams and all that included, all up and ready to go. You've got, I think, I think it's a school wide account for English Central. Um,
Yes.
you've got, I think the Google the Google One or Google with Google Classroom and all that. You've got that also, right?
Yep.
I mean, so I mean, almost everything that you do on Teams, you could do on a combination of Google apps. Google Classroom and Google Meet and Google Forms and all that stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of neat that you got choices, but I feel sorry for the students because the teacher is gonna pick his way and say, okay, this is what I'm more comfortable with, and the teacher's going to do it that way. But now the students, rather at the teacher's whim, is he going to do it on Google, or is he going to do Teams, or is he going to do something else? I mean, I feel
Yeah,
sorry.
you're absolutely right. And I mean, I've heard teachers, in various departments who even want to do Zoom.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
don't
man.
even use Teams that we have the support on, and they wanted to do Zoom, right? So yeah,
Well, I mean,
you're right.
they've got Teams and they've got Google Meet, because Google Meet is basically the same thing.
Yeah,
And they don't want to use that either. So again, it's like, I don't know. That, to me, that's asking a little bit too much, especially the freshmen. Not really of anybody. Oh, but that's. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. What do you think? Okay, so if your school basically says, well, we'd prefer that you do your classes remote, but if you really want to, teachers who really want to, we're going. If you don't have big classes, if there's enough. If there's few enough students that you could space your students out reasonably, then we'll allow you to do it, in the classroom.
yes, right.
But what I'm worried about is the inconvenience for students. So, for example, if they had a first period class, remotely, and then they've got a second period class in the classroom, how is that going to work?
Yeah, that's happened too. You're right, and that can be a problem. some students, they do have access to the computer centers, so they could actually jump over to the computer center or vice
Well,
versa.
they could, but what if you've got several teachers that are using the computer rooms for their classes? Like me, I've got last semester, the few times that I used the computer room, I had students, chomping at the bit to get into the computer room, right near the end of my class. They were like looking in the door, waiting for me to get my butt out of there so they could get in and use the computer room, right?
Yeah.
So, that is a limited resource. The number of computer rooms is limited.
It is limited, and that's why I try to ask the students, right, what they have, right, and to try to accommodate the students that way. Yes. So no, you're right. It was a problem. It's been a problem on occasion, for sure.
Yeah. I especially feel bad about my students. I think this year or this semester I've got Wednesday, 4th, and 5th. So that seems, if they're off campus, if they're doing remote classes all Wednesday, and then suddenly Wednesday, late in the afternoon they've got to go to school. That seems like a real pain in the butt. I mean, I wouldn't enjoy that if I were a student.
I wouldn't either, actually. No, you're right. Yeah, sure, you're right. I sure wouldn't, man. And then, or if they're, or if they're on, vice versa too. If they're on campus the whole time, I mean, hopefully the computer room might be open. They could swing into the computer room, but if it's not, then they have to figure out something else.
Right.
So I think in that case, I guess it's best to ask the students and find out what classes. Now, they do stress here at Kendall, like in my department anyway, the classes that are definitely need to come to school are biological research classes and food and health experiment classes, and also teacher training classes. Those things you can't do very well offline. Off campus. So these things, they pretty much want students to come online for. So what I had to do was check with my food and health students, if they're going to be online or offline or what, if they have to come to campus. So to figure out what was better for them. And last semester, I found out that a lot of them, like I had them second period and first period, and I was planning to do remote, but first period they had experiment classes, right?
So they were on campus already.
They were on campus already. So I said, well, how about face-to-face? Yeah, fine, no problem. So we switched to face-to-face, and so that worked out. But if you have other situations, it's tough. First-year students and first-year situations might be more flexible.
Well, I think it also, especially, I've got one first year and one third year class, right? So
third year,
but also they're in the literature department, so they're not going to have the experiment classes, I would guess.
Right? No, that's true too. So maybe that would work out. Like, third year students here. I have one third year student, science English, third year class, and I have to always check with them what their situation is, because they're doing experiments and getting ready for the fourth year, right? So I always have to play that one by ear, right? And I think I'll have to find out what's coming up this year too, because I have them Friday second period. So if they have class on campus first period, then I'm going to do face to face.
So maybe what I'm going to try and, like I said, for the first 2 or 3, at least for the first 2 classes, I would like to, I'm going to try, unless the school tells me no, I'm going to try to do them face to face, and then I'm going to kind of turn it over to the students and say, look, now that you know what to do, how to do it, and so on, I think that you're actually able to do this online. But if you want face-to-face help, if you want to come to the classroom, that I'll be on campus, I'll be in the classroom, right? So that way I can kind of offer the best of both worlds to students.
That's great. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be very cool indeed. Yeah. And I think, if you really were adamant about having classes face to face, if you really felt you needed to, here too, right? I think, you could talk to Kilmuka and say, well, I really think it's very important to have face to face classes. I'm sure they would tell you that you could,
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, yeah. Once I'm up and running, I think I'll be pretty comfortable. I mean, basically what I did, the spring semester, I had 2 classes before we went remote, right? And
Yeah.
and that worked pretty well. It was still a little bit rough because it was kind of a sudden thing to all of a sudden go remote. I really
Yeah.
wish I would have had one more class to really get started, or a week's notice more to really get them on, in sync with what I wanted. But it was all right. It worked. It worked.
Yeah, that's cool. It's crazy, right? Yeah, like I said, today we had a graduation ceremony, and a lot of international students, PhD students in our department, right, are going back home, right?
Mm.
One guy, we gave him a little party for lunch today. He is going back to Thailand on Saturday, and he has to get all these documents,
Wow.
for leaving Japan. He has to have other documents for entering Thailand, and he has to quarantine in Thailand, and he has to have that all set up before he even leaves here, right? So yeah, man, it's crazy. So,
man, I mean, I think I've said this before. I love being in other countries. I love being in the Philippines. I love being in the few other countries that I've been to. But I hate traveling. I hate getting there.
Yeah.
I don't like airports. I don't like airplanes. Trains are better, but you from Japan you can't travel to another country by train, right? So
not yet, anyway, right?
Right, not yet. So I mean, I really don't like airports or airplanes, either one. I'm not afraid of crashes or something like that. I just don't like all the hurry up and wait that's involved in airports and airplanes, right? You're waiting in lines and so on, security check-in and all this, it's just like among my least favorite ways to spend any time at all is in an airport security check. I just hate it.
Dude, I used to be like that.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it a lot more, and I kind of got used to it. And now I love it. I don't know. I get a lot of work done in airports.
Wow.
I love like being in a plane and just being like at 35,000 feet or what have you. And you're just in this tube, and it's the middle of the night, and it's quiet, and just you have the drone of the engines, for hours. For me, it's really relaxing. Actually,
yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. That part of it is not bad. The thing is, if you're in a big plane, right, and so it's 3 seats across or whatever, and if you're wherever you are, whether you're on the aisle and you got somebody you don't know sitting at the window and they're asking to go out to use the restroom once in a while or whatever, or the other way around, you're at the window and they're on the aisle and you have to ask them to let you out. I hate that.
Yeah.
If it was me and my wife, 2 seats on the side, and one of us was the window, the other was the aisle, and it was only bothering each other, that would be fine. I wouldn't mind the airplane ride at all. But it's just that third party that I have to either ask them or they have to ask me, just that describes me.
Sure. No, I hear you. It's a pain in the butt too. I've stepped over many people actually.
Yeah.
While we're flying, you can't do that with a big dude with a big stomach, but with a smaller person, I've gotten to the point where I can step over someone. Like if they're on the aisle and I'm on the inside. Just kind of step on their handrest and go over. But of course, that's why I try to get aisle as much as possible. I'm an aisle person now.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. When I was younger, I always wanted to be at the window, so I could look out, and so on. But now it's always aisle. Absolutely aisle.
Yeah. Indeed, man. Indeed. Geez, the last time I flew was, the last time I flew overseas was a year and a half ago, or over a year ago. Yeah, it was February of 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, so over a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Same with me. Same with me. Coming back from the
Yeah.
Philippines. Yep. And the almost empty airplane. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Damn.
and that was actually, yeah, that was bad. If flying it was always like that, so very little, very little waiting at the security because there aren't that many people going through. Very, easy to put your bag right over your head because there's not that many people checking, putting the bags in. Uh,
Right.
easy to grab your baggage afterwards because there's very few people waiting to grab their bags. That's another thing that I hate. Everybody waiting for their bags, right, and everybody crowding around there. I mean, it's just because nobody's logical. Everybody wants to stand right up next to that conveyor belt that's carrying their bags, right? But there's no reason to be there until your bag comes around, and you can stand back, 15 feet away and still identify your bag. And then you see your bag coming, you walk up, you grab it, and then you walk away, right? There's no advantage at all of everybody lining up as close as they can to the belt, waiting the whole time for their bag to show up. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
I think psychologically people think that the closer they stand, that's going to make their bag come faster, but it doesn't. You're right. There's no logical reason to stand that close. And I always stand back and just wait for the bag. I even stand like at the very end when it's coming around to go back in the thing. I stand there because I don't have to get it when it first pops out. I can, I can wait until most people are crowding around to get it like when it first comes out. And if I wait, then it's going to be, hey, there we go. No crowd. But and the bags, right? The people in the airplane too, waiting to get out. That's kind of a pain in the butt too, right?
Yeah, I just,
mean,
I just, I'm not good at waiting. I'm not good at waiting. I avoid, going. One of the reasons why I love this job is because our vacations are a little longer, flexible than most people's vacations in the country, right? So everybody's traveling during Golden Week, right? I will absolutely not go anywhere during Golden Week.
I don't like traveling during Golden Week either. Yeah, no.
I mean, if it's a holiday, I stay home.
Yeah, Golden Week, I hate traveling. It's a pain in the butt in Japan. It really is because people are crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody they feel like they have to travel during Golden Week, and I've encountered some quite rude people during Golden Week traveling. But I remember going to the States from Tokyo to it was from, that's right, I flew out of Korea, so from Incheon to, I think I went into Dallas, was it? The last time I flew, getting on that flight, that was when Corona was just here. And it was interesting to see how people were dealing with it. Like you would see some people with masks, some people would have these kind of, alcohol wipes, and they'd be wiping the trays and the seats and whatnot. Right. I did that, but some people wouldn't, it was just weird to see. And everybody was like eyeing each other. I remember that. Everybody was like, kind of like,
Did he cough? I thought I heard a cough. That was him, wasn't it? That guy coughed over there.
Yeah, right. I didn't cough. Right. Are you infected? Yeah. Which was very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was. So what are you up to this weekend, Dan?
This weekend, I don't know. I mean, Mercy's got tomorrow off because it's the national holiday there. So, So
me
I think
too. We got tomorrow off. I took off Friday because we're going to go to Takachiho, the wife and I.
Okay.
I'm going to combine that with like a tourism investigation. Yeah. One thing I've heard about, you might have heard about this, that I just heard about, is the Phuket Sandbox model. Have you heard about that?
No.
It's a tourism model where they allow international travelers to just come to Phuket, right? And you don't have to quarantine, right? Yeah, you just go to Phuket, stay in Phuket. You can't leave Phuket, but you can stay in Phuket. I think you have to stay for 2 weeks. But you don't have to quarantine. That basically is the quarantine, right? So you just stay there for 2 weeks, and then you leave again, right? you can't transit through the country. You have to go directly to Phuket and out of Phuket. And I'm just learning about this the last few days. It sounds like a pretty cool idea for handling COVID. Yeah, you have to be vaccinated and have proof of vaccination.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, okay. If you have to be vaccinated, proof of vaccination, it might be all right. But I mean, to me, that's like, okay, so this is our little petri dish here, and
They
we've got,
still feel that way. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I wouldn't want to travel there. I mean, it's like, I don't know. Just that seems risky for the people that go there.
So just nah. Yeah, I think it's somewhat risky. I think yeah, it does feel somewhat risky, although it feels like it could be safe,
Right.
or at least safer than trying something else.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's definitely better than having to spend 2 weeks quarantine in a hotel somewhere. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Although I don't know, you might be right. Maybe it is a petri dish. Gosh, I don't know, right?
I mean,
but
because even if you're vaccinated, remember the best numbers right now for the being fully vaccinated with the common vaccine so far are like 80% or less. That you won't catch the virus, right? So even somebody that's been vaccinated could still bring the virus in there, and if you're stuck, in that location with somebody that might be a carrier, again, even if you're vaccinated, up to 20% of the people there could get infected and then bring it back with them, and they're not, of course, I guess when they're going back home, maybe they'll be quarantined back in their home country. I would hope so, but it just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a perfect idea either.
Yeah, maybe not. And it is risky. Of course, you would be taking a risk. And of course, if I were to do that, I wouldn't take my mask off anywhere, probably, right? But I'm thinking about having my students research that in the upcoming year, this kind of sandbox model idea in Kumamoto in Oslo, right?
Yeah.
Maybe doing a survey, if possible, with some people, travelers. How do they
I'm a
feel
little
about that?
envious of you right now because, or anyone in tourism right now is going to be, I mean, a research heaven. I mean, there is so much to be looked at, I mean, pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID, and so on. And the way, different places and different businesses and different types of tourism related industries are coping with this and what they're doing to recover from it and so on. I mean, that's got to be a tremendously interesting field right now.
Yeah, it is. It is really interesting. The numbers pre-COVID and during COVID and now are, very interesting. There's, of course, huge drop, billions of tourists drop right in 2020 and billions of dollars too. But yeah, people are coming up with interesting ideas like that one, like that sandbox idea. At least they're trying to figure these things out. And, airplanes are being used as cargo planes now, things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We're going to try to see what we can do in Kumamoto and also,
Yeah. Oh, did you see where Japan has now surpassed the United States in the number in the percentage of people vaccinated?
No.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Japan started what, like 2 or 3 months later? We've already surpassed the number vaccinated.
That's amazing. And how great that is. That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear that. That's great.
I knew, I didn't know that Japan would I knew that America, there'd be enough people that were vaccine resistant, resistant or anti-vaxxers or whatever, however you want to label them. There was going to be enough of those that it wasn't going to go over a certain percent, or it was going to take a long time. And, and I knew that even though there are some of those in Japan that, once Japan decided to do something, once they put their mind to it, that they were going to just, go full bore and just really roll it out. And they have. It's been impressive, been very impressive here.
That's great. That's very, very impressive, and I'm really happy to hear that and see
In fact,
that.
I don't
Yeah,
I don't know of any other country that has gone from 0 to what, basically, 60 over 60% in as short a time as Japan has done. I mean, there are a lot of countries.
yeah,
There are a number of countries that have higher percentages. Like Dubai. Or the UAE, I guess. Whatever, and Israel and
right.
Canada, and I mean, there's a handful of countries that have higher numbers than Japan does, but
Mhm.
not that reach this degree in this short a time. I mean, Japan's pretty darn impressive, especially for 127 million people.
Totally impressive. Totally impressive. Yeah, it's wonderful. Great to hear, and yeah, I mean that just makes it just that much more safe too in the future, right?
Yeah,
And yeah. I mean, it's just that marathon mentality Japan has, right?
yep,
Starting off a little bit slow, perhaps, right? But just continuing that marathon, over the long haul, right?
yep,
uh, and until it's completed, right?
yep,
That's the 3,000 years of history, I guess,
yeah,
that Japan has, right?
yep.
They continue over the long haul. They don't look at short term, really. Yeah, they're really, and look, they're 60% already. That's amazing. Yeah, I remember when it was like 16%.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, fantastic.
It is pretty darn impressive.
Yeah,
Let's.
cool, man.
Where was that vaccine tracker? Was that it? But yeah, I it seemed like there were places like where was it? Places like New Zealand that are like less than 10% or something like that. It's
Wow.
really, yeah, yeah. Countries that you just you wouldn't expect, but they're yeah, really lagging behind. Really lagging behind. Yeah,
Gosh, that's not so good.
not good at all. No, not good at
Not good
all.
at all, man. Well, Dan, yeah, I'm gonna head off because we're gonna go up to Oslo today.
Okay. Oh
And
yeah. Okay. So here we go. Here, just
okay, yeah,
real
sure.
quick. Let me go ahead and share this. It's that interesting, I think. Let's see. Where did we go here? Here we are, and let's see. Present and come on. There we go. All right. I know you can't read this; it'll be too small. But so here's this. Oh, let me make it the larger one here. Huh? There we go. Okay. So you can
Okay.
see this here. So the United Arab Emirates, UAE, is clear at 91% that are at least partially vaccinated, right? Portugal and Spain are both 80%, 87%. Singapore 79, Uruguay 78, Denmark 76, Chile, China, Canada 76, all 76. Iceland 70, or yeah, Iceland 75, and so on. Japan, like I said,
Yeah.
Japan got a slower start than anybody else. So United Kingdom is 71, Japan is 67, and there were at least 3 months delay after the UK started before Japan started, and already we're only 4 percentage points behind where they are.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Um,
amazing, man. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, you can see that. Yeah. So Japan here is right in the middle of this. Right in the middle. It's at the part where the above the bulge. There's a drop off. United States is now at 62% that are at least partially vaccinated. Right.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean it's creeping up. It'll go further. I'm sure it'll get to nearly 100%. Kana. I mean, I know there are some anti-vaxxers here in Japan.
Yeah.
But
Plus,
I'm sure it'll
people
be
with conditions where it would be a risk to, it's a significant risk to get vaccinated, and so they choose not to, and so on. But
Yeah.
we know, generally, whatever the pre-existing condition is, it's more dangerous to get the virus than it is to get the vaccine, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but here down at the bottom, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Kenya, Egypt. So the bottom 5 are all in Africa, right?
Right.
And then
No access, right?
yeah, Bangladesh and Pakistan are down close to the bottom. Vietnam is only 28%. They're when you get to
Wow.
Asia, Vietnam only 28% vaccinated. Yeah,
That's surprising. I thought they would be higher too.
yeah. India is already at 44%.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, so it's quite amazing. Yeah, I can find no information on the Philippines, and that's one of the places dear to my heart. But I can't find any information on I was looking at a different site that had a world map, and it was kind of neat. You could move your cursor over the map, and when you're over a country, a thing would pop up and tell you what the percentages are of fully vaccinated and partially vaccinated, and basically these same numbers would pop up there, but over the Philippines, nothing, no data.
You're kidding? Why is that? I wonder.
I don't know, because I know a lot of people have been vaccinated there. My family, basically everybody in my wife's family have been vaccinated, at least once, most of them twice already. And yet, I don't find the data for that.
Very weird. I wonder why.
And the Philippines has got a hodgepodge. I know Sinovac and the Sputnik were there pretty early, and the AstraZeneca came pretty quick. Pfizer and Moderna. Pfizer, and I'm not sure if Pfizer is actually available yet. Moderna was starting to be available not too long ago. I think somebody in the family got Moderna because it's a lot less restrictive. It didn't need the refrigerating requirements that the Pfizer did, and so on. But yeah, it's so strange that there's basically no
that is
data.
Really bizarre, man. Very bizarre. Well, maybe Saturday, if you're around, we can do a little thing.
All right. Yeah. Let's see.
Are you going back in time?
Yeah. So in April, Japan basically hadn't started yet. Japan was less than 1% in April, and the United States in April was almost 40%, 39% in April, middle of April, right? And then America barely crept up, but like Japan.
Wow, that's cool.
Japan was just jumping up by leaps and bounds,
Yeah, it's amazing.
All the way through June, July, August, September. We've just been bouncing up, bouncing up. So
wow, that's great. Incredible, man. Incredible.
We're in the right place, man. We're in the right place,
man. Let's keep it here then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hey Dan, thanks a lot, man. Sorry I was a little late jumping on, but thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. So you're headed up to Oslo, huh? All right. Well, have a good time then, and we'll keep in touch. Yeah, if you want to do something, let me know.
Let's do that.
All
Tomorrow
right.
I'm around too. Probably not much going. Like 24th, we're going to Takachiho. The weekend I'll be around.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Sounds
man.
good. All right then. We'll end it here, and bye-bye.